hooligans in Brazil is a fucking problem.
It's fucking jealousy.
We would smash them, break glasses, and everything like this.
Fighting, revenge, and passion. Just a normal day for the world's toughest fans. The beautiful game, otherwise known as football. But it's not as beautiful as it may seem. In the year 1314, King Edward II of England banned it for being too rough. And today, fans are being kicked, beaten, and killed because of it. Many football clubs have elite groups of fans who call themselves firms or ultras. These firms not only support their club, they're willing to die for it. And some of the most dangerous firms are from Italy. Famous for its fabulous food and historic sites, it's also renowned for housing some of the world's toughest fans, better known as the Ultras. The Ultras are a different breed of people. They're not just about violence, they're about displaying their passion.
What they call the choreography, a combination of banners, flares, smoke effects, is just absolutely stunning. It is opera, and it's why I hope the Ultras never die.
But for some Ultras, this passion boils over into matches about respect and defending your club colours. Some of Italy's most prominent ultras are from Turin and supporters of the team Juventus. And with a number of hooligan groups, one of the most feared are the Drughies.
Cosa significa essere droghi? Essere droghi vuol dire essere gente tosta, gente a posto, gente regolare, vuol dire essere ultra, gente che non ha paura di nessuno e di niente, e quando dico niente, niente, e ce ne sbattiamo il cazzo di tutti, ok?
Drughi revel in being hated throughout Italy. And this was evident during the recent away game to Genoa. This was the first time they played each other in more than 10 years.
Forza Juve dai, forza Juve dai, vince ancora, vince ancora, vince ancora e non mollare mai.
Turin and Genoa are both in the north of Italy. They're traditional rivals, and everyone expected an explosive match.
Piccola trasferta proprio. No, Genovani merde. Polizia, più merde dei Genovani, police, più merde.
Because of their violent reputation, a police escort travels with them.
Ci hanno fatto allungare sti bastardi di 50 km, ci hanno fatto arrivare a partita iniziale sti figli di puttane qua. Già quando siamo arrivati avevamo incazzato, c'avevamo due coglioni così. Perché non ce la facevamo. Che cazzo ridi? Minchia ridi pure ti fa. Minchia c'avevamo i coglioni che ce l'avevamo per terra ti fa. Eravamo già incazzati.
When they finally go into the ground, the reception committee round them up even more. They receive a barrage of abuse from Genoa fans at the infamous match-fixing scandal.
Aveva offerto anche un grottesco prologo di striscioni e un assordante urlo ladri all'ingresso delle squadre in campo.
Quando siamo arrivati là abbiamo combinato di tutto, abbiamo spaccato tutto.
You can see it.
Un cazzo. Genovani. Solo police.
Pezzo di merda!
Cazzo,
Okay, ma non vuole.
These ultras obviously fear nothing. Along the motorway from Turin is Bergamo, the home of Atalanta Football Club. Not a world-famous football club like Juventus perhaps, but their ultras, Curva Nord, are infamous. They glorify their status as underdogs, and they've got a close bond with both their club and community. Their leader is this man, Roccia, a well-known face in the world of the ultras.
Roma, Torino, Firenze sono tifoserie che alla fine tutte grandi, cioè noi vogliamo avere sempre problemi con questi, noi vogliamo, se non ce li abbiamo li cerchiamo noi i problemi, noi ci stanno sul cazzo tutti.
In contrast to Juve's nationwide fan base, Atalanta's ultras are very much anchored in the Bergamo community.
Gli ultras sono portati a unire una città, sono portati, hanno il dovere di far capire qual è il senso vero di uno sport.
Atalanta's ultras think Italian football has been corrupted by richer clubs in the big cities, and they want to understand.
Perché il calcio oggi è veramente uno schifo, ma la passione vera è ancora tramandata nelle nostre case e noi finché esisteremo la porteremo avanti fino alla fine.
But this passion can also result in terrifying football violence.
Lo scontro nasce, te l'ho detto prima, non da una delinquenza, non nasce da quello, nasce da una passione e poi in quello c'è la voglia e la mia droga è quello di picchiarmi con ultras di qualsiasi altra squadra, l'avversario, fargli capire che qua comunque non c'è possibilità per te di fare il galletto.
With this desire to fight, the ultras are out of control. And people die. In 2007, policeman Filippo Riccitti was killed during clashes at a game between Catania and Palermo. 62 other policemen were injured. The government immediately suspended all football games across Italy for a week while they considered their next move.
Certainly what the Italian authorities are trying to do is eradicate the ultras. People in Italy regard the ultras as the real problem in football, one of the real problems with football. And the Italian ultras regard themselves as, the last the Mohicans, the last stronghold of the proper spirit of football. There's a battle, I guess, there are elements even of civil war in there.
The authorities have declared war on the ultras. Now under new regulations, flares and fireworks have been banned at matches, and new look stadia are planned, which are easier to police. But this won't be an easy war to win. In 2012, English football fans of Tottenham were attacked by the ultras from Rome. Here, one English fan almost lost his life.
The attack put him in hospital with a head injury and a knife wound to his leg that narrowly missed an artery.
As a result, 2 Italians were arrested for attempted murder. It's clear the ultras won't go down without a fight. They live and breathe this ultra passion.
Cioè, si nasce, devi averlo dentro, non è che uno arriva la mattina e dice divento ultra.
Quando uno ha ragione va avanti e non si ferma. Finché se ha questa mentalità noi non moriremo mai. Poi se qualcuno paga, ben venga anche il pagare, ma siamo consapevoli, non ce ne frega niente. Non è una moda fare l'ultras, non te lo dice il dottore alla mattina, è uno stile di vita.
This is Russia. Spanning 9 time zones, is the largest country on Earth. With a population of 142 million people, it's best known for its vodka and ballet. But it's also the new wild frontier in the world of football hooligans. It's developing a fearsome reputation for vicious football violence and shocking brutality. In its capital, Moscow, the two biggest firms are from the biggest teams, Spartak and CSKA. CSKA's top firm is called Yaroslavl, but there's a young firm that stands alongside them. They are called Gallant Steeds, and their top boy is Cashpoint, one of Russia's toughest fans.
I usually try to use only fists. Sometimes when you use your feet, you may fall on the ground with no one's help.
When Cashpoint chose to support CSKA, he didn't pick them because he liked their colours. He was making a far bigger statement.
I grew up in a Spartak area and I was a rebel inside. I always wanted to go against the flow and I became CSKA supporter. Not just because it was a different team, there are a lot of teams in Moscow, but because they are most hated.
Cashpoint didn't just support the most hated team in Moscow. He set up his own firm, Gallant Steeds.
What we decided to do to improve our reputation, to pick up firms and to bash them.
They were proving themselves by ambushing rival Spartak firms on the Moscow commuter trains.
We stand in mop-handed, ready for them. And then train comes. We already knew which car are they, and we stand right close to them. And we run to the next car to them. So one of our men will come to the next car to the firm and pull the emergency brakes so train wouldn't get away from the platform. They usually keep their top boys right in front of the doors. We would smash them, break glasses and everything like this. They usually run away till they can, till the end of a train, and they got smacked and smacked again and again. So we were building our reputation on these trains.
Cashpoint's story is revealing. It's about the level inside Russian hooligans. In the past, fans fought against strict government control. Today, the firms just fight. And it's not just the men who get involved. This is Svetlana. She's a CSKA supporter and used to be an active hooligan. She was part of a 20-strong female firm. They fight for their team's colours and plan their battles in exactly the same way as the blokes.
И так же, как и абсолютно, как и мужские драки, и никаких кусаний, дерганий за волосы, никаких царапываний.
Svetlana said the female firm formed in the late 90s. They see themselves as completely separate from other girls at the stadium who don't share their same desire to fight for their side.
Конечно, адреналин получаешь неимоверный. Муж, конечно, переживает за меня, но в то же время во всем меня поддерживает, является моим тренером.
In Moscow, even the women are fighting each other and getting their kicks from it. The world of the Russian football hooligan is violent and brutal. CSKA's biggest football rivals are Spartak. Their hooligan group are known as the Gladiators. Formed in 1996, they're one of the oldest firms in Russia. They're named after Spartacus the Gladiator, one of Roman history's most celebrated fighters. They were at the heart of this ferocious battle with the police in 1999. Spartak were playing away to Saturday in Moscow and the firm kicked off. The police were chased off the terraces. They're led by this man, Vasily, the killer. Rumour has it, he's nicknamed the Killer because in a fight, he takes no prisoners. The killer's approach was summed up by the ancient Roman gladiators' motto, win or die. the words a Roman gladiator lived his life by.
Основной соперник, главный враг красно-белого движа в околофутболе — это представители ЦСКА. Многолетняя у нас идет война с ними, обоюдно острая, то взлет.
This is 1905 Street, the site of one of their bloodiest battles.
Anything can happen to you when you're doing this football violence. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But here took place battle which we won, and this was a really great battle.
In 2006, on the day Spartak and CSKA played one of the biggest games of the season, their firms arranged to meet in Moscow's busiest square.
Our mob was standing there, about 200, waiting for the Spartak firm to come. Spartak firm appeared. They came out of the tube station, and all they noticed us.
Cashpoint claims that the police turned a blind eye to what was going on.
They decided that if we just punch a little bit each other and no one gets really hurt, it will be all right.
The fight took place at 3 o'clock on a busy Saturday afternoon in front of members of the public and their video phones.
They enjoy the view because it's not every day you can see it. 400s clashing right on the road. So the battle started right in the middle of the road.
They brought the area to a standstill as hundreds of hooligans battled hard.
Part of them run, part of them got smacked unconscious.
This was the day that CSKA claimed supremacy in Moscow.
I didn't care about my physical condition, so I just wanted to go bash them.
Even Vasily from Spartak's Gladiators admitted defeat in this one.
Вышли самонадеянно, на пафосе, очень расслабленно, и нас за это наказал.
They won't forget this for a long time.
До новых встреч, могу сказать парням из ЦСКА.
Yeah, that's it.
This victory gave CSKA bragging rights in Moscow. In a similar way to what has happened around the world, the Moscow firms have taken their battle into the streets of the city. And they're not alone. Firms across the nation are also having clashes away from the police. As the violence continues. In Western Europe, situated off the North Sea, is the Netherlands. It's a country famous for its coffee shops and red light district. But it's also famous for 2 of the world's toughest firms. These fans are supporters of Holland's biggest teams, Ajax and Feyenoord. The hatred between them is so strong that when these teams battle for a win, their fans go to war. And in 1989, the hatred between the two literally exploded.
2 homemade bombs have exploded at a football match in Holland, injuring 19 people, 9 of them seriously.
Feyenoord attacked Ajax with 2 homemade nail bombs. Ajax's stadium was turned into a war zone. 14 people were injured, and it was a miracle that nobody was killed. This incident was widely covered by the international media. Journalists reported the growing reputation of Dutch hooligans.
Holland is fast taking over as Europe's most troubled footballing nation.
This was a major turning point. The government, desperate to combat hooliganism, introduced new safety measures, all-seater stadiums and CCTV. But this doesn't stop the most hardcore of fans, especially these. This is Ajax's firm, F-Side. They're so feared that the police are trying to make being a member of the F-Side a criminal offence. a banned organisation like a terrorist group. They're famous for their bomb making and their hatred of Feyenoord.
Feyenoord's got the problem with the second city syndrome. We're number one. We want more, and with hooliganism and on the field also. It's fucking jealousy.
They call us Jews, and then we make the Jewish star, and we make the F in it.
Despite these anti-Jewish taunts, Ajax hooligans have taken on this identity.
We're not Jewish, but Amsterdam was a Jewish city, especially before the Second World War. Look how stupid they are. Feyenoord. Rotterdam was flattened in the Second World War.
Yeah.
Boom. Most Nazis, neo-Nazis from Holland come from Rotterdam. How stupid can you be?
F-side take their rivalry seriously, and the fist is not their main weapon.
Oh, you make the bomb and you throw it? But not like Feyenoord with nails in it and shit. Come on, you know?
People hear the bomb and everybody screams. They love it, you know?
When you see smoke and you have bam, 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 fucking it's great, man. Come on, attacking us, you know? Show us some.
The rivalry here is taken to the extreme, and it's clear these guys are not to be messed with.
This one of the bomb? It comes from Switzerland. It's like TNT. Yeah, there's bombs everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. Why you can buy weapons, you can buy bombs. They fuck with us, we fuck harder with them. We go harder. And it's the same thing for the other guys.
Hooligans with bombs, and these guys are prepared to use them with deadly consequences. In 1997, the top boy of Ajax was murdered when the F-side clashed with hooligans from Feyenoord. They were not even playing each other on the day of the fight. They met on the side of a motorway outside Amsterdam.
Bij rellen tussen supporters van Ajax en Feyenoord bij Beverwijk vanmiddag is dus 1 dode gevallen. De dode is waarschijnlijk een van de leiders van de Ajax-gang.
Van alle Stanley-messen. Echt honkbalknuppels, gummiknuppels.
Carlo Picconi, Ajax's top boy, was beaten to death by Feyenoord hooligans with knives, hammers and chains. Police seized an arsenal of weapons including baseball bats, Molotov cocktails and electric stun guns.
I think that was the point, that everything was changing in Holland. A new generation was coming. That was the example of them.
The government were forced to admit that hooliganism was spiralling out of control. The riot police were unable to deal with the escalation of violence, so the government called in the army. The government gave permission for army choppers to airlift riot cops into hooligan hotspots. Carlo Picconi was a godlike figure in the Ajax firm, and they still honour him today by keeping his seat in the stadium. Usually, if a hooligan goes to the floor, the opposition leaves them alone. But our man's best friend, Carlo, was stabbed to death in front of him while he was on the floor. This is still very raw.
I can't talk about it. You know what I mean? It went wrong, and then, well, there was not an honest fight, and that's the only thing I say about it. And we're not done with them yet. Never, I think.
Even the fear of death can't stop the violence. CCTV in all-seater stadiums haven't really been much use here. The hooligans are determined to fight each other at unexpected times and in secret locations. And the police even say that these quicker, more intense clashes could lead to another murder, like in Bedford.
You got the First World War, you got the Second World War, and the third is coming up.
Hooligans in Holland, I think it will never stop.
I'm not a murderer, not yet. If you touch one of my friends, I'll fucking kill you.
This is Turkey, the gateway to the Middle East and home to 80 million people. It's separated by the Bosphorus Straits and is well known for its bazaars and kebabs. Football fans here are not only passionate, they're some of the toughest in the world. When defending their honour, they won't hesitate to kill. Welcome to hell. The deadliest teams in Turkey are Galatasaray and Fenerbahce. They love to fight, especially with each other. There's a hatred between them that's fueled out of class differences. Galatasaray originated from an elite high school, and Fenerbahce were born out of soldiers from the First World War. And being soldiers, Fenerbahce's fighting spirit still remains.
Of course, we hate Galatasaray, but I'm going to talk personally. My love for Fenerbahce is much stronger than my hate for Galatasaray. But of course, we hate Galatasaray. Is one of the biggest derbies in the world, my opinion, and they're our biggest rival.
The rivalry is so strong, even their friends who support Galatasaray become targets on Derby Day.
Well, 10 years ago, I had friends from my university, and we were, good friends. They were Galatasaray fans, and I could see them perfectly because they would split the stadium into two halves, and I could just see them perfectly, my friends, and I lit one of those flares, and I threw it exactly on my friends. I could have burnt them, they could have lost an eye. I didn't think about it at the time. So during those times, there's no oxygen, going into your brain.
This is the violence that happens between friends. And some of the past battles between these rivals have been like all-out war.
From night to morning, you can fight with Galatasaray fan, also police. It was
non-stop action.
And many people injured, maybe died.
Their biggest battles have been with Galatasaray, but they often fight against the police.
This season, two big fights in our area. The police used the gas and the
pepper spray. If you're gonna go to away game, then
the police,
90% you might get a stick or pepper spray. We are very used to pepper spray now. It's like breath mint now.
These guys seem to have no fear, not even of being hurt or injured.
Well, I have some injuries. Of course, stones on the head. It's always a nice story here in Turkish terraces. In 2001, against Samsunspor, it was our championship game, and people were throwing stones at us. One of them pulled up the sink, the big china, and it broke on my head, and I had to have stitches. But so many people were injured from both sides. When it was my turn to get stitches, the guy at the ambulance said, "We're sorry, sir. There's no more stitches, no more needles left to stitch you up." So I had to watch the game like that, with my head half open. We watched the game. We became the champions, and I came back to Istanbul like that. I had stitches, and then I went back celebrating.
Even though they risk serious injury, they still go back for more. Especially against their fiercest rivals, Galatasaray. This is Alparslan, the top boy from the Galatasaray firm, Ultra Aslan.
Ama buna engel olmaya çalışanlar olursa da
their firm is so respected, the name has become a best-selling clothing brand.
Şimdi orada biraz bir farklılık oldu. Biz Ultra Aslan'ı zaten marka olsun diye kurmadık ama Büyük Galatasaray taraftarının teveccühüyle Ultra Aslan bir marka oldu.
In 2003, Galatasaray were deep in debt, so the fans gave them $5 million, and in return, the club gave them the Ultra Aslan trademark. By doing this, the hooligans saved the club from bankruptcy.
Ultra Aslan ürünleri satıldı ve milyonlarca dolar para kazandı kulübümüz.
Ultra Ultra Aslan are a feared firm and will kill to uphold their reputation. In 2000, English football team Leeds United were in Istanbul to play Galatasaray. Before the game, fighting broke out and 2 English supporters were killed.
Ama nedense bu Leedsliler buraya geldiğinde bir terbiyesizlik yaptılar. Bayrağımıza hakaret ettiler.
It is rumored that they wiped their backsides on the flag. In this highly nationalist country, the flag is seen as sacred. Although neither of the victims were involved in this incident, this was the main reason given for the attacks that led to their deaths. There had been scuffles earlier in the day, but the worst trouble fled here. Leeds fans leaving this pub were attacked with iron bars, hatchets and knives. Christopher Loftus and Kevin Spate got caught up in this carnage. They were innocent fans, not hooligans, in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I was in the ground!
Christopher was stabbed in the heart and lay dying on the street. It was reported that the Turkish police were slow to help the victims and seemed more interested in making arrests. The police then bundled Chris into a police car off to hospital, but it was too late. He was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. Kevin Spate was also stabbed. Ambulances couldn't get to him, so the police put him into a taxi. He died later in the operating theatre. Several other Brits were stabbed, and many spoke of being hunted down by packs of Galatasaray fans. The Turkish police were blamed for not using force to prevent the incident getting out of hand. These horrific events left 2 Leeds fans dead and 5 others seriously injured. Despite this, the planned match still went ahead. As soon as the game was over, Leeds fans boarded waiting coaches and both sets of supporters taunted each other. Some Leeds fans defaced banknotes with the founding father of Turkey on them. This is a highly offensive and illegal act in Turkey. Then, at the airport, there were ugly scenes as they boarded their flight home. The bodies of the 2 fans who were killed were flown back days later.
Bunlara müdahale ediyorlar ve maalesef bu facia meydana geliyor. Olmasını hiç istemezdik. Çok üzüldük. Ama oldu, yapacak da bir şey yok artık.
The fact of the matter is, if you fight the way they do here, people die. And with such passion, there doesn't appear to be a way to stop it.
More than a nation, more than a religion, it's the blood in our veins. It's the most important one thing in our lives.
This is Croatia. It lies in the former Yugoslavia in Eastern Europe and is home to 4.5 million people. Known as a melting pot of East and Western cultures, it was once a bloody war zone. Now, it's home to some of the most notorious hooligans in the world of football. In the Civil War, these firms fought for their country. Now, they're fighting for their teams. One of the toughest and most passionate firms of the Torcida, supporters of Hajduk Split. But who are their rivals for the crown of Croatia's toughest and proudest firm? It's the boys from the capital, the Bad Blue Boys, the firm of Dinamo Zagreb. And they're in town for the biggest game in the Croatian football calendar, Hajduk Split versus Dinamo Zagreb. One of the most explosive fixtures in the world.
Biggest rivals. In this moment, Torcida Split.
Absolutely.
An army of 2,000 bad blue boys are heading to Split, and one of them is this man, Bogdan Urukalo.
We don't like them. We really don't like them. We can make some troubles in Split.
It's high noon in Split on match day, and these teams have a history of violence. So the police are preparing for trouble. It's their job to keep the Torcida and the bad blue boys apart. But the two firms have other ideas.
All my crew is now at the center, preparing for the game, waiting for guests. We are also prepared for any kind of troubles. The boys looking for the guys from Zagreb. We are not afraid of that kind of conflict.
Is it going to go off like it did at the Cup final in 2000? One of the worst incidents in the history of European football. The bad blue boys provoked the Torcida by throwing flares at the normal Hijack fans.
We burned 10-15 flares. We threw it on the ordinary people because we cannot reach the flare till Torcida. It's impossible, 200 meters, 150 meters. And then whole stadium became crazy, na na na. They were shouting and singing, "We will kill you, we will kill you."
Enraged, the Torcida went berserk and rushed round to the Dynamo end to try and break down a fence and get at the bad blue boys. Chaos ensued as the police fired tear gas at the attacking fans, and the showpiece game of the Croatian season was abandoned. It was shocking even by Croatian standards, as more than 100 people were injured and 98 arrested.
It was a good incident. I was satisfied.
Back at the latest derby of Croatia, and there's still 2 hours till kickoff, and the tension is rising. Both firms are heading to the ground, and the police are out in force. As the bad blue boys arrive at their end, the police are wary of any last-minute attempts at an ambush by the Torcida. Inside the ground, the crowd were coming to the boil. The riot police stand by as the two groups exchange pleasantries. Throughout the game, various missiles are thrown towards the pitch. Firemen struggle to cope with the constant barrage of flares. And when a fire is started in the Dynamo end and the police intervene, the lads from Zagreb dedicate a song to the other boys in blue. It's a totally different world out here. And while all that was going on, a football match took place, which had 3 penalties, 8 bookings, a sending off, and ended 2-2. But by the usual standards of this match, it was a quiet one. Not much trouble, just 30 Torcida and 9 bad blue boys arrested.
Golden rule is to support team 90 minutes, and if it's necessary, to fight for that club.
So when it comes to letting the players know they're not happy, they believe actions speak louder than words.
Few times we smash their cars and we give them a few punches, you know, just for like a yellow card, you know.
So what happens when the players deserve a red card?
We decided to go to the training, 50 of us, masked, and we took off their shirts, pants, everything, because they didn't deserve a shirt of Dinamo Zagreb.
Effectively, the firm are the ones who run the club, and Bogdan runs the firm. Throughout a home game, Bogdan makes sure everyone on the stand is in full voice. And if someone isn't singing, he digs them out. But what's shocking is how few people were there. The Bad Blue Boys had come out in force, but there was hardly anyone else in the stadium. And as for the Vartex fans, they must have come in a taxi. It's obvious how the Bad Blue Boys have so much power. Despite their violent antics, the club needs them. If they weren't there supporting the team, nobody would be. This is Brazil, one of the largest countries in Latin America. It has a population of nearly 200 million people. It's the most successful football nation on the planet. It's the land of sun, samba, and shootings. Brazil's largest city is Sao Paulo, population 30 million. Here the rich and poor are living side by side. And it's not only a violent city, but it's home to some of the world's deadliest football hooligans. One of Sao Paulo's biggest clubs, Palmeiras, revived one of his biggest firms, the Mancha Verde, which means the green stain. And they were involved in one of the most serious incidents of football violence in the history of the game. One that occurred at a junior football match back in 1994. This riot against Sao Paulo involved a pitched battle in which iron bars, lumps of wood, and rocks were used as weapons. 100 fans and 22 policemen were injured, and one person was killed. Palmeiras is one of Brazil's most successful football teams, and the Green Stain are one of the most infamous firms. This is Janio. He's the president of the Green Stain. And as you can see, he can handle himself.
A nossa torcida ela nasceu exatamente para mudar a história de que a torcida do Palmeiras, então nós já nascemos batendo em todo mundo e até hoje continua assim. Eu acredito que a nossa torcida no mundo é difícil encontrar uma outra que bata de frente com a gente. A gente acredita que todos que estão aqui na nossa diretoria, todos que estão à frente da torcida estão dispostos a tudo, né? Bater, matar, morrer, já que a gente abandona a família, abandona o emprego, abandona tudo para seguir o nosso clube e defender a nossa bandeira. Então, todos aqui são perigosos, desde que você mexa com a gente.
But the fighting in Brazil comes at a cost.
Esse rapaz aqui, ele está na praia com os amigos.
This is 23-year-old Diogo Borges.
Aqui quando ele era jovenzinho, empinando uma pipa.
In 2005, Diogo died of massive hemorrhaging after being shot in the back by a rival fan. His father, Marcos, like his son, is also a member of the Green Stain.
E eu tive de falar pelo telefone que ele tinha morrido, né? Foi uma coisa assim que você falar para a mãe do seu filho que ele morreu não é fácil, é muito triste, sabe? E aí era como se fossem dois amigos. Eu vim aqui na mãe, você pode ver que todo mundo gosta de mim, ele nunca teve vergonha de andar comigo, a gente desfilava na escola de samba, a gente ia pra festa, então eu não perdi só um filho, sabe? Eu perdi assim um amigo muito grande.
Diogo died because of football-related violence, and wherever the team goes, danger follows. Today, the Green Stain are on a 6-hour coach trip to Rio. The bus was supposed to be full, but not everyone has shown up. The Green Stain's ink man, Rafa, is disappointed.
Of course, we're disappointed. The matches in Rio is always dangerous. The last match is not important and ninguém veio. Nobody's come to Rio.
You wouldn't find Rafa missing the bus. Ask his sister. On the day of her wedding, he'd gone to see Palmeiras in a pre-season friendly.
She's just very upset. And all my family in wedding. Rafael, where's he? Oh, he's going to the match for Palmeiras with the team of 2nd division. Shit.
The Greenstein family haven't mixed well for Rafa. The mother of his daughter left him after she told him it was them or the firm.
She is not happy. She's fear and go and took my daughter. She's name is Isadora. It's hard, man. I'm suffer, but the manchas running in my veins.
But danger lies ahead. As the coach approaches Rio, the mood changes. Rival firms may lie in wait to ambush the bus. The Green Stain are a target, but not from today's opponents, the Fluminense.
The problem with the Fluminense fans, our problem today is the Botafogo fans.
They've been given a chilling warning from their Rio rivals.
The promise are sure in us.
With 2 hours till kickoff, they arrive safely at the Americana. Leader Janio arranges their entrance to the ground with the police. There was nothing to play for, and the Green Stain weren't looking for a fight. They just had to be there for the team. Now, they face a dangerous and tense 6-hour trip home. There's only one road out of Rio to Sao Paulo, so there's real danger. The Green Stain are getting a police escort out of the city because this season they've already been shot at twice. The bus is silent. The tension is palpable. After 15 tense minutes, the coach reaches the Rio city limits and the police escort leaves.
The police's goal starts now the possible problem.
With the police gone, they've now got a different type of protection. The bus is driving at breakneck speed and everyone is on the lookout. But as they get further out of Rio, the mood changes, namely danger appears to have passed. Then, it appears Botafogo had kept their promise. 3 shots have been fired at the bus from the car.
Bagulho, eu escutei o som. Eu tava sentado inclinado, o bagulho passou atrás de mim, mano. Mano, pegou aqui, ó. Eu tava debruçado. Eu senti um zoom. Fuck off hooligans! In Brazil is a fucking problem, man! Mas... Eu tava ligeiro na janela, os caras riquetes, fica ligeiro aqui. Eu comecei a ficar ligeiro na polícia, meu. Eu fechei no vinho, mano. Oi, Cebolinha. O cara da moto amarela parou ali e...
The car is still following the bus, and if necessary, they will return fire.
The car is near, be careful.
Amazingly, nobody's been hurt, but it was a little too close for Rafa.
My window. I'm in state of shock now, I almost died. And don't see my daughter. In England, guys punch and kicks in Brazil. Shut it.